Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh in the morning, and church morning is on its way. It is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. And don't you ever listen when anyone tells you something is impossible because it has never been done before.
Not only shows me how racist, which, hello, wake up, you black, you're aware of that. It not only shows me how racist this country is, misogynistic, y'all, we're at the point where I'm convinced y'all do not want to get ahead. Y'all had y'all glory for days in the back. Y'all hate to see a black, a Latino, anybody that's in LGBTQ plus, a woman being happy doing shit on her own. Because to wake up and seeing it being that close, and I'm seeing comments where people are like, I'm in another country, I don't know how this happened. Wake up!
It's a sad day in America, people. It's a really sad day. My candidate, I can't believe this. Kamala actually lost. I mean, I just thought that she was like the better candidate. I mean, I just thought with her previous history, when she was the DA in San Francisco and the Attorney General of California, everything she did and what she stands for, being a strong, intelligent female, made it to the Senate, made it as VP, and now as a presidential candidate. I am just devastated at this point. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. You know, I was just being very extremely sarcastic. Now, we know that Donald Trump has won the presidency, and we know, those of us who are pro-Trump, that we believe that the right outcome took place. That's what we believe, right, Trumpers? We believe that he's the best choice for the country because he's pro-America, he's America first. And I cannot tell you how excited I am for the next 4 years. And I really want it to be beyond 4 years, to be honest with you. We have to keep voting in our best interest. We have to keep doing what is right. And with this election, this was very pivotal. I mean, but I want you all to I'm going to play some old clips of things that Kamala Harris has said in the past. But before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Watch the video to the very end. Let's get into it.
He has lost his privileges, and it should be taken down. And the bottom line is that you can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. The same rule has to apply, which is that there has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
Any regulation or oversight, governmental oversight. So she talked about price gouging before. Now she talked about, of course, this is a previous clip, about oversight of social media. These people are reaching millions of people, and this has to be regulated, she said. Hasn't she heard of free speech? See, we need to be able to read between the lines. Just because things go against what you may believe politically, but this woman is literally saying no free speech. No free speech. And you already know that she was for governmental control over corporations to control prices. What does that sound like? Does that sound like a free country? Does that sound like a constitutional republic? Does that sound like that to you? She has made it very clear who she really is. Okay, the Democrats are upset that people can get their information from other sources rather than the propaganda media. They're upset about that. They want things to be controlled. Information has to be controlled. And remember what Hillary Clinton said? She said that people who are, spreading misinformation should be civilly and possibly criminally prosecuted. That is what she said. This is what the Democrats want. That is what they're after. They're after our freedom. Now, they will say Donald Trump is a dictator. He is for free speech. And Elon Musk is with X. You can just say what you want to say. But we got to be careful how we vote. And we need to learn things, all right, so that we don't get caught up into the same mess that other countries have gotten caught up in. Because we were headed that way very strongly. We were headed that way down this little road of people not allowing us to speak, controlling the prices over privately held businesses, the government being over that. That was what was happening.
I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit that I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so devastated behind an election. And it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men and they say all this shit like, oh, he's not that bad and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you. And he was like, oh no, he just don't like everybody. What? So that's a good candidate for you? Someone who's crying in my room this morning, my brother gonna come up in here and say, what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro. These niggas are so live on another planet. And it's because none of this shit affects men. That's why.
Let me apologize for her horrible language because it brings so much emotionalism. It brings more of this.
I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. We always finish last. We always come last to everybody, even our own men. Because mamas be black. This shit is crazy. Y'all got black ass daughters.
All right, so women are angry. It says they muted the television at Kamala's party when it became apparent Trump would win. Liberal women are in literal meltdown mode.
Knowing that I woke up, bitch, it's not about a funeral. Knowing that I went to bed, that fucking man was ahead a little bit. But waking up to this man, literally, you're 4 points of faith. Not only shows me how racist, which, hello, wake up, you black, you're aware of that. It not only shows me how racist this country is, misogynistic, y'all. We're at the point where I'm convinced y'all do not want to get ahead. Y'all had y'all glory for days in the back. Y'all hate to see a black, a Latino, anybody that's in LGBTQ plus, a woman, being happy doing shit on her own. Because to wake up and seeing it being that close, and I'm seeing comments where people are like, I'm in another country. I don't know how this happened. Wake up!
This is how liberal people act when things don't go their way. And before any lefty who happens to be watching this video talks about what happened at the Capitol, that was a whole orchestrated effort to make it look a certain way. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But this is how people act. They bring up racism and they bring up sexism as a reason why people did not vote for this woman. Could it just have been policy? I mean, I'm just done. And this has got women of a certain color all over the clefty liberal women. This has got liberal women all over the place, just acting crazy, literally snot, crying, everything, flying all over the place, just everything, flying, boogers flying everywhere, just so mad on social media with your bonnet on, which I can't stand when people go out in public with their bonnet on. You know that everybody's going to be clicking on this video and you got your bonnet on. That is really for private when you go to bed at night in the privacy of your own home. Please don't put this out in public. I'm going on a personal rant because I have a thing against people wearing bonnets in public. But anyway, This is what's going down. Some black women are mad at black men right now. I've seen some women say, black women say, that they don't care if something happens to something bad happens to the black men that voted for Trump. I've seen that. Now, I'm a conservative woman. I love everybody. Okay. Not to mention that still more than 70% of black men still voted for Kamala Harris because they're going by the race and gender thing. But remember, Democrats use race and gender to divide, and they'll get a black Democrats, period, get paid to do nothing. I'm just letting y'all know that's how that rolls. But they use that thinking it's going to work, but people are hip to it now. They're just hip to it now, and it's not going to work. Let's see what the cackling hens of The View had to say.
Mm-hmm. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it. We should love it. We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will. And I've been through this before with Nixon. It's been very difficult. But boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it.
That sounded pretty reasonable from Joy Behar, right? She disagrees with it, but, the people spoke. And we have a country if we can keep it. She had to add the little dig in at the end. We have a country if we could keep it. Well, looks like we will for now because of who won. But listen to what Sonny Holston has to say.
As America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have.
Yes, they always play the victim. That's what they do on the left. Now my daughter has less rights than I had. That's what Sonny Holston had to say. No one's happy at The View. You can be for sure that no one's happy at The View. And, we want more than just offering up a female who's not actually going to help us. Well, at the end of the day, people have bills to pay. They have to put gas in their car. They have to eat, pay for their medicine. And all we have is identity politics on the left. Such a sad day for lefty, such a sad day. Crying and moaning and just having a sad day. You almost feel sorry for them. Oh, how they wished Kamala had won. Oh, Kamala, the intelligent one, the one that offered up such good answers when she tried to speak, the one that got up to the top the right way. She worked her way up the ranks the right way, right? Yeah, right. Here we go. Now let's look at the Obamas, their response to the Trump victory. So here it says, statement by President and Mrs. Obama on the 2024 presidential election. Over the last few weeks and through Election Day, millions of Americans cast their votes, not just for president, but for leaders at every level. Now the results are in, and we want to congratulate President Trump and Senator Vance on their victory. This is obviously not the outcome we had hoped for, given our profound disagreements with the Republican ticket on a whole host of issues. But living in a democracy is about recognizing that our point of view won't always win out and being willing to accept the peaceful transfer of power. Michelle and I could not be prouder of Vice President Harris and Governor Walz, two extraordinary public servants who ran a remarkable campaign, and we will always be grateful to the staff and volunteers who poured their heart out and soul into electing public servants they truly believed in. As I said on the campaign trail, America has been through a lot over the past few years, from a historic pandemic and price hikes resulting from the pandemic to rapid change and the feeling a lot of folks have that no matter how hard they work, treading water is the best way. It's the best they could do. These conditions have created headwinds for Democratic incumbents around the world, and last night showed that America is not immune. The good news is that these problems are solvable, but only if we listen to each other and only if we abide by the core constitutional principles and democratic norms that made this country great. In a country as big and diverse as ours, we won't always see eye to eye on everything. But progress requires us to extend good faith and grace, even to people with whom we deeply disagree. That's how we've come this far, and it's how we'll keep building a country that is more fair and more just, more equal and more free. I think he contradicted himself in that. I think the Obamas contradicted themselves because he kept talking about what happened over the past few years. Well, the past few years, part of those past few years included the Biden-Harris administration. He mentioned more fair and more free. The Democrats are not more fair and free, are they? Are they really what happened? Are they really more fair and more free when it comes to what happened a few years ago with the election? Are they really? And what Kamala herself has said about some kind of oversight and regulation over people on these social media platforms that are spreading different information. Yes, he contradicted himself. He surely did. Well, you guys, we got to pray for our family, friends, those that we know, our neighbors. I have a neighbor a few yards from my house with all these Harris Walls signs in their yard. I didn't put a sign in my yard, but it's the vote that matters. And the outcome, stupendous. I couldn't be at a watch party for Trump, although I wanted to be. So I just watched them online. Such a great feeling. Check this out.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. It's official.
We have a new president, and it isn't her. It's him. We had a gender reveal for the presidency. It's a boy. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. You all be blessed. Love God, your families, these United States of America, and march on, warriors.